Hi everyone, it's Norman Kochnick here on Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. We're here specifically to talk about the second test between Sri Lanka and Pakistan being played yet again at Galle. Of course, the last three test matches have been played there that Sri Lanka has played twice against Australia. They were beaten quite comprehensively the first match, but they won quite comprehensively in return the second, and then they've been beaten by Pakistan in the first test match of the series by Abdul Shafiq and Babar Azam and their great batting abilities of the two players involved. And now we come to the second test or fourth test in a row at Galle, and there's been some changes to the two teams, and we're about roughly an hour away from play. I can see that Mano just said that he loves me. Well, that's nice. I love you too, I guess. But yeah, it's one of those situations where a test being played for the fourth game in a row on the same ground, there are some arguments there that, they shouldn't be doing that, but I'd accept they're crazy dark. It's crazy dark, Ryan. How are you? But it's very interesting to see. This is significant for Sri Lanka in terms of their much beloved former captain Angelo Mathews. He will be playing his 100th test match. Lucifer, how are you? Sri Lanka really, well, they're beaten by Pakistan quite reasonably. What was it, by 4 wickets, I think it was, yeah, in the previous match. And my gosh, Abdul Shafiq at 22 years of age with a batting average of 80, quite incredible. So Angelo Mathews is playing his 100th test today. It's been quite a career of his, of course. He has batted all day to save a test away from home. He's hit plenty of big innings in the company of the tail. Most memorably, his 160 at Headingley, some that helped turn a dire situation for the country. He was in a public fight with a coach and plenty of minor humiliations, and spent many months away from the side owing to leg injuries, but has also been part of some of Sri Lanka's greatest test victories. So yeah, he only gets picked for test now, which means that this might be the last international until March next year. A big contribution would be the perfect way to celebrate the occasion. So good on him. Abdul Shafiq, of course, at the other end of the scale, he's very new to Test cricket. At 22 years of age, he's already got a batting average of 80, and a great 4 things not to his name, which we saw previous match. Well, Blues, based on what I've seen already, you've got them losing the first against Australia, winning the second, losing the first against Pakistan. They could well win the second, you're right. Oh, excuse me. What should Babar Azam score 200 runs? He scores well. He's doing pretty well, let me tell you. 196 against Australia not long ago. So there are plenty of batters who have 12-year test careers without innings as impressive as 160 not out. He just played against Galle, that's for sure. He backs his defence, saw out 408 balls to that Shafiq. And he was fortunate on occasion, but still, he seemed to be he's a very accomplished player. So team news, we'll go through that in a minute. What about... Okay, we already talked about that. Yeah, okay. So, Sri Lanka have got back Pathum Nissanka. He's back in the actual squad. He had a form of COVID, so he was not playing. But now, Ashada Fernando has scored runs in his place, and he might retain his position, but it's pretty hard to call to make. Meanwhile, the injured Mahesh Thekshana, of course, has been ruled out. And so his place would have to be taken by someone. Dunith Wellalagay is likely to come in left arm left arm spinning all rounder, and he's likely to make his debut. He's very young and he seems very talented, so they've obviously got big raps on him in Sri Lanka indeed. So Sri Lanka's team we'll get that confirmation in a few minutes' time. Yeah, Abdul Shafiq is 80, exactly, amazing. Brilliant batter. Sri Lanka's probable or possible side is Ashada Fernando or Nissanka, we'll see. Kurunarata, the captain, then followed by Kaushal Mendes, who's done pretty well. Angela Matthew, his 100th. Dhananjaya De Silva, Dinesh Chandimal, who's been out batting fantastically. Narosh Dickwella, they keep on saying he's got a cloud over his name. Well, he hasn't. Himanshu, how are you? The fact is, Narosh Dickwella is the best keeper Sri Lanka's ever had. He needs to only get, two more dismissals, and he's equalled Jayawardene, Prasanna Jayawardene, and will become the leading dismissals for Test cricket for a keeper. Ramesh Mandis, who bowled pretty well in the process. Dunuth Wilalage, we'll see how he plays, if he gets a chance. Public Jayasuri, oh my God. 6 wickets, 5 wickets, and then 4. Amazing. Who we got joining us? Mosen Sheikh, how are you?
Hey Norman, how are you? Hi to all your
Good,
audience.
you're driving.
That's what you're just coming back from training. Our pre-season cricket training has started. So
really?
Just finished. Yeah, it's early days because 2020 competition for premium grade is starting early. So the season is going to be a long one. So pre-season's already kicked in. So yeah, on my way back from training. So I thought I'll join in while I'm driving. I'll do what Norman did the other day. Payback time.
You know what? It's there's sometimes it's bloody boring being in a proper little room. If you're driving, doing something unusual, it breaks up the monotony.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, there you
go. Robert M is saying, "Hey Norman, it annoys me that we don't get the coverage of this game. You only get it on various Facebook sites and what have you, and it's very annoying."
Yeah, it is annoying. It would have been good because you got teams competing for a top spot, and they're trying to make finals for the Test Championship, and it's very unfortunate that none of the pay TV or even cricket, it's not in Australia, we're not able to see it. It's very, very unfortunate. Only, as you said, some online sites and that type of stuff, some links are providing that opportunity, but it's very limited. So
I think it's been actually broadcasted by Sony, which means it should be all over the world. Anyway,
exactly right. Sony 10 Sport is already doing it as well. So as I said, there's a lot of Indian sites and Pakistani sites they're doing it. 10 Sports is big enough. Sony is big enough. So I'm pretty sure Fox could have taken the feed off them and broadcast, which is disappointing.
I was just getting into the Sri Lankan stuff. Before I do that, I'll answer a few questions. Manos says, I think Mahela, Jayawardene, Hayden, and Sangakkara are underrated. Your thoughts? They certainly were.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Sangakkara. He could have beaten Tendulkar.
He could have been Tendulkar. He was. He's all his career. He's never been one of those guys that really lived in the limelight. He was always good enough for any form, but he'd never lived in that limelight that Joe Root or Kohli or even Tendulkar's lived. But he was bloody good player and good keeper too. He gave up gloves early in his career and prolonged his Test career, but he was a fantastic player.
Well, it's now, I think I may have told you earlier, but Narosh Dickwella is in second place now behind Prasanna Jayawardene for the most dismissal. Could take some more. Okay. Himanshu Mahela, off topic. I got my results from my board exam yesterday. Well, Himanshu, you got your results. Tell us how you went.
Exactly. Yeah, I hope the results are good.
Yeah. Robert's saying, true, one of your comments. Which team is favourite in your opinion, Pakistan, Sri Lanka? Well, look, after the way Pakistan played the last match, they have to say Pakistan. But then Sri Lanka have a strange habit of coming back from the match after, don't they? They got beaten by Australia. They won against Australia. Now they lost here. They can easily come back.
Absolutely, and their batting is clicking as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If Angela Mathews can get a few runs here, any top order, I think, support Chandimal, the form that he's in red hot form. So if someone can stick with him and in the lower middle order, I would like to see again Dickwella being in one of those guys. He's been in news for all the wrong reasons. People want him out and everything. And we touched base that last Test match as well, Norman. That the guy's prime role is keeping. He's doing it well. He had tough chance down leg stump last game, but predominantly his keeping has been well. He's been a little bit off color with the bat, but given that he's still good enough, and I think Sri Lanka. That's why Sri Lankan Cricket Board is supporting him. I want him to finish on high. He's still young, so you got to stick with him. Um, I think he's one of the best available at the moment. So yeah, for me, there's no brainer. But I see a lot of media around Dickwella being sloppy and not contributing with the bat, which yeah, it is unfortunate.
Robert M's just mentioning my bunnies. Sangakkara beat Melbourne. I was very happy about that. Wouldn't Cummins in the Two World Cup? I go with Ellis. Well, Sam is Cummins will probably be in there. You would think. All right, it is Angela Mathews' 100th Test match as well, which I talked about earlier, which is quite impressive. Where is Chris Vernon on? Please add him. I've asked him, and Chris is always commenting on my WhatsApp page, but he hasn't come on, so he will. Hayden has solid defence and ruthless aggression. He was an amazing player. It was very exciting to watch Manoj. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
You heading inside the house? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just actually going to grab something. Norman, I'll join back in a sec.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, as I was talking about earlier, while Moisen was going off there, the Sri Lankan team, we were going through it. We got to Prabhat Jayasuriya, of course, with his 6-6-5-4 wicket-taking heroics. So he's got 21 wickets in the last two Test matches. What's he going to get this match? Ashita Fernando was fair to middling. So he'll be in the side probably as well. I would have liked to have seen Harris Ralph, to be honest with you. That would have been the player I would have had. Pakistan may bring in a left-arm spinner, he's been in the Australian series, Noiman Ali. He bowled pretty well there. Not a like-for-like replacement for Shaheen Shah Afridi, who's out with a knee injury, hopefully not long-term. At times in the first set, they seem to have too many quicks, Pakistan. Well, I don't know about that. Given the state of the pitch, Afridi has taken 4 wickets in the first innings of that match, but Pakistan may be going with a better combination this time, which would imply another spinner. I would prefer to see Harris Ralph in there, to be honest with you. That's still my thoughts. So Pakistan's team will probably be, I can't imagine anything other than the same batting lineup. Abdul Shafiq, of course, Imam Al-Haq, Azhar Ali, Babar Azam, and Mohammad Rizwan. And Agar Salman will probably give it another go. There was talk about bringing Fawad back, but I don't understand why they would do that. He didn't play well at all previously. Mohammad Nawaz, one of the all-rounder spinner bowlers, Noiman Ali, Hassan Ali, Yasir Shah, and Azim Shah. So that's probably the lineup. Some of the stats which I find always interesting, and this is always, I always enjoy this. Mathews needs a further 124 runs to get 7,000 Test runs in his career, which would be a big effort. When he gets there, he will be the third Sri Lankan to the milestone after Sangakkara and Jayawardene. So he's an elite company there, Angelo Mathews, if he does get a handful more runs, some 124. Pakistan won successive tests in Galle, having also won at the venue in 2015. So there you go. If they win again, they will become the second visiting team after England to win 3 in a row at the venue. Well, they're the right team to do that. You got 70%. Well, that means they're passed, Mark, doesn't it? You've passed, I'm assuming. With the victory in the first test, Pakistan has put themselves at third on the World Test Championship table with 58.33 percentage points. So Sri Lanka slipped, unfortunately, down to 6, which they don't deserve to because they beat Australia as well, so that's too low for them. Anyway, so Pakistan are third, Sri Lanka are 6th. If Pakistan win again, they're going to be nudging at their top 2, I tell you, big time. So there we go. That's the story of the day so far. Yasir Shah bowled the ball, the newest ball of the century to, I think, well, it wasn't Babar Azam. I can't remember who he bowled to, but he bowled to in great succession. He bowled some good deliveries to get Prabhat Jayasuriya also took the wicket of Babar Azam. In fact, Yasir Shah, the ball of the century was actually to Kashul Mendes. But in the case of Prabhat Jayasuriya, he bowled 2 deliveries to Baba Azam. One caught it first, one bowled around his legs. They were both magnificent. So some very fine bowlers on display here in this match. The pity for me is that it's a 2-test series, not 3. 2 does not really reflect the result they would like to have happen. So, yeah. Will I cover the Asia Cup? I hope so. I hope to, yes, indeed. So Sri Lanka have lost one, draw. So they've had a up and down yo-yo. So they're due for a win by that record. Pakistan have had a win, loss, draw, win, which is indicative of the series they had against Australia. Yeah, so the second innings only Prabhath Jayasuriya seemed a wicket-taking threat. So that's the concern for Sri Lanka. They perhaps haven't got the spinning depth. I don't know why Hasaranga doesn't play for tests. I don't know why. And Mantra Mahela says Ricky Ponting compares Tim David to Andrew Simons, and he believes he is match winner. Okay, we'll wait and see. Path like he. Okay, well, I'm not sure what's being said there. Norman Ali bowled pretty well against Australia earlier on, so we'll wait and see whether he. You're back in the car.
I'm back in the car. I'm still not home. I'm still picking up a few things on the way home. So that's why I had to do a pit stop. Because the reason I'm doing these little pit stops, my car's been stolen.
Stolen?
And not stolen. Someone drive off. Someone drive off in my car from my driveway.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's just very frustrating. So I've got to get all my cards and license, and my wallet was in the car, my laptop was in the car. So yeah, so it's very, very frustrating week.
So did they break in?
Yeah. So they broke in, got the key, and they drove off in my car.
So your keys were where?
On my kitchen counter.
So they broke into your house, got the keys, and then took your car.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and took my laptop and everything. So was in the lounge. So they must have just come in and out because I was sleeping in the room.
You're kidding me?
I got a knock. No, I got a knock at 3 o'clock in the morning from police saying, "Oh, we've spotted your car speeding down one of the main roads." And I said, "Well, you should have stopped it." They said, "We just want to check." And yeah, so I'm just got the rental car, so I've got just getting by a few things. So.
My God, you live in Queensland, not South Africa, don't you?
Yeah, I know. It's. I think it's just school holidays finished, and I think someone your kids and that type of stuff. It's just frustrating. Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. What happened last night?
No, last week. Towards the end of last week, Thursday.
So what are the police saying to you now? That they're still trying to track it down, or?
Yeah, they'll try and track it down. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, that's terrible. Robert M saying, "I hope there wasn't any damage to the house or car."
No. Look, I've got the locks and everything changed, and now hopefully, let's see what the condition they find the car in. So let's see.
Terrible.
Yeah.
All right, Omar Wakas says, who should replace Shaheen Afridi with his knee injury? Who do you reckon should replace him?
I strongly believe that there should be 2 changes. They don't need 3 paces. I think from the last game, I would strongly go with Harry as a replacement for
Who?
Shaheen Harris Rauf. So
Yeah, I hope he does, but I don't think he will.
I don't think he will, but that's my pick. And then instead of one of the other quicks, I would go with another spinner, whether it is Noman Ali or whether they will go with an additional bat, because I still think they've got Rizwan batting at 5 is still too high. You need to have 7-4 combination, what Sri Lanka have. 7 batters for 4 bowlers is my pick.
Yeah.
But I think Pakistan like to go with 5 bowlers and 6 batters. That includes keeper. So I know they wanted to give Debutan a bit more all-round role. He bowled few, and plus Nawaz can handle the bat as well. But look, he can handle the bat in conditions like where the ball's not seaming or spinning, and you saw both dismissals of him. Both him and Salman Agha getting dismissed to spinning deliveries, not seam. And I still like to see I still like to see 7-4 combination with Nawaz as an all rounder at 8. So
But
that's my
Pakistan won the match, didn't they?
yeah. Look, no doubt. But that match was won with the bat. That match was you got to consider that Shaheen Afridi being injured, and if Abdullah Shafiq the way he batted, if you take his innings out, the chase was really steep. Sri Lanka batted really well in second innings. They counter attacked Pakistan. Yasir Shah's effect was not there. Even Nawaz got 5 wickets, but still he could not penetrate like the way Jayasuriya did. Jayasuriya's quality about left arm spin was, if he was not getting wicket, he was not leaking runs. And the
Yeah.
guy has played first class cricket for a long time. He's over 30. He's done the trade for a long time. He's got what? 3 fifers, 2 6fers,
And a
6,
fourfer.
5, and 4 for. So the guy is actually doing the role that a veteran spinner would do. He's only 2 test match old. So you got to be able to, if you're not getting wickets, you got to contain, and which Yasir didn't do. He got 3 wickets, but he was very hittable. So if you're attacking, fair enough. If you're attacking as a leg spinner, you're attacking, and you're not taking wickets and you're not containing. Someone else has to contain, which didn't happen in second innings with Sri Lanka, and that is my concern. Fast bowlers didn't come into play later in the innings when the ball was bowled. So to me, then they need an additional spinner, or they replace one of the existing ones, which I wouldn't. I would stick with Yasir and Nawaz, and I will get Noman Ali maybe as a third spinner.
Well, Robert's still concerned about saying you lost thousands of dollars there. Uncle Nike saying hello, good afternoon. Any update on Muhammad Abbas? Yeah, what happened to Muhammad Abbas?
You look, I think Muhammad Abbas is still around. He's training in the academy when he's not playing in England. The guy can do a lot of stuff with the seam. He's good seam bowler. He doesn't have that pace. He's around 127, 28 Ks, maximum 130 Ks. But on a flat decks, on a spinning decks, he's very ineffective. So they were thinking of bringing him into play against Australia, but in Pakistani conditions or spinning conditions, he's very ineffective. He's good in English conditions, New Zealand, England, where he's got a lot of wickets. He's had 3 good seasons in England with county and taken a lot of wickets with his seam and swing, which gets counter effective when he's playing in spinning conditions where the ball doesn't seam as much, or on flat decks in Pakistan where ball doesn't do anything. With the new ball, it's probably effective with 5-10 overs at max when the new ball swing is available, and then he's very hittable. So if he's got to come back into Pakistan team, I think there's 2 things that he needs to do. He needs to develop a lot of reverse swing pace, or has to play in condition. Pakistan have to play in conditions where it's suited seam bowling. So that's what Muhammad Abbas for me is.
Okay. Now, Amla Bora is waiting for the second ODI between West Indies and India. And he's asking whether Ishan Kishan will play in Sanju Samson. Well, they won't lose anything if they do put him in, but yeah, It's interesting. West Indies are pretty ordinary, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I'd like to see.
Well, Ishan Kishan hasn't really been able to cement his spot, which is sad. Okay. Pakistan should go with 3 spinners. I don't mind that at all. if Pakistan wins, where is Australia's position with the World Test with the what the F? It's not what the F is. Well, WTC, Sam. It's not the not W not what the F what the F.
I think Australia is safe because Australia till India series they'll be fine. They've got West Indies, they've got South Africa at home, and the position that I see that is going to change up top is South Africa. They're going to play test matches in England. They're going to play test matches in Australia, and that's where the position of South Africa will change unless they just do something extraordinary to get in to win test matches in England and Australia. I don't see that happening,
No.
but funny things have happened. So,
well, the way
I
that South Africa won the first ODI against England impressed me, but then they got smashed the second. So there's no logic to it.
No. That's what the inconsistency of South Africa cricket is.
So Debashis Mahani saying that Tim David is a match winner, but Chief Selector Bailey thinks Tim David is not an international standard player. That's exactly right.
And Ponting has come out last night supporting him massively. As you saw, Hobart Hurricanes have done a whole massive change in their support staff. Yesterday, they've announced the new support staff with Michael Vaughan, and then you've got Darren Barry and James Hobbs. So that's James Hobbs is an assistant to Ricky Ponting in Mumbai Indians, and he's worked with Ponting quite a lot. So Hobbs he's left Queensland, he's gone to Tassie, and Darren Barry from Victoria. He's done work with us in Sixers as well, and Rajasthan Royals. So a lot of experience under his belt. So he's gone to Hobart Hurricanes as well. So that's the first move. Everyone was speculating Justin Langer to take over that role, but obviously I think Langer's statement came out yesterday that he's still not ready to go back in coaching. He still wants to enjoy some time off, which is fair enough because he's gone through a bit of hell towards the end of his coaching career. But Ponting was keen to get him in, but you can see that the trusted guys of Ponting back. And in that press conference, he said about Tim Davis, same thing that he said he's your cup winner, he's your match winner. Well, one reason he's part of Hobart Hurricanes as well with that franchise, but the other thing is that he's done well in recent past with other franchises as well. He hasn't played international cricket yet, so the guy's still yet to be tested at international level. Franchise level, yes, he's done well.
I know I should be getting excited about the BBL, but I'm not. I'm still a bit perplexed about it. The fact is, I know they're putting the draft coming up and all of that. They're making a big effort, but they need to stop stuffing around with the teams. Well, hopefully they'll do that. Okay. Uncle Nark saying Pakistan wins this against Sri Lanka. Where does it India stand? Well, it puts Pakistan well and truly in the top three. And well, they're three now, but they could even be second. And if South Africa start to falter, Pakistan may end up being second.
Second.
Yeah. Yep. Following many. Yeah, okay. Waiting for next year's Border Gavaskar drill, so am I.
Everyone is, I think.
Well, it's going to be pretty. It'll be exciting. I'm going to be there for sure. So, if Bailey's not listening to anyone at the moment, and look, I don't believe that you select a player like Tim David, whatever his name is, on the basis of what people tell you. I mean, he probably needs to have a pretty. He won't be in the World Cup squad. I don't believe he will be. They would have made their minds up pretty much by now, I would say.
I would think so. I think post World Cup, you'll see a lot of changes as Smith, Warner, all these guys might, give up that format. As you saw, Ben Stokes have spoken highly.
Yeah.
I've tagged you on that Uzi statement about one-day cricket. So a lot of cricketers will give up one or two formats because you're tiring. Your bodies are not there. And what Stokes has said, we're not cars. You just keep putting fuel in and keep driving us down. So it's going to happen. And Uzi said that the statement that I tagged you in the other day, Norman, that one-day cricket is a slow dying game. So which is understandable.
Now, okay, it looks like we've got the toss about to happen, so we'll probably get some indication of the team selections.
The team selections,
yeah. There's a comment. Abhishek Agarwal saying that has Pandya announcing his retirement from ODIs. I haven't heard that. Have you seen anything about that?
I haven't seen anything. No.
No.
It'd be interesting if he does.
I can't imagine at this stage he would.
No.
Okay, I'm just trying to find also this. Where is it? Okay, so Mahesh Thakshana, we've said, is out of the test. This bowler called Lakshitha Manasinghe has been drafted in. We're not sure whether they're going to go. Oshida Fernando or Nisanka is being discussed. Shaheen Afridi, as we know, is already out. Interesting. They're showing a video of the players signing the team sheets, which I think is rather interesting.
Yep.
I'm just trying to wait on that. Yeah, it's something you rarely ever see. Okay. Let's wait and see. Hopefully we'll get some sort of there's nothing at this stage. All right, we'll go back to the questions.
Not yet. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got Debashis saying hello. Okay. We're also looking forward to Asia Cup, especially India, Pakistan, 2 league matches. Okay. Where's that being played? Do you know the Asia Cup?
I think there's news that Asia Cup's moved out of Sri Lanka and is going to Middle East. So UAE would host overall, so right. 3 grounds. So that's out of Sri Lanka.
Okay, here we have the question which I was kind of waiting for. Norman, I think Virat should drop ODI and T20 format and concentrate on these test matches. I think he'll do that, but I think he'll wait until after both the next 2 years of World Cups. The T20 World Cup, I think he'll announce his retirement after that, and then probably follow that with the ODI. But Test cricket, I hope he goes on as long as possible because he's a great asset.
I think so. I 100% agree. I think this year's 2020 we'll see a lot of fringe age-wise guys will give up 2020, and then after next year's one-day World Cup, a lot of guys will give up one-day cricket because, as you and I have discussed last time, a lot of players are actually harping about one-day cricket is a dying art. So you'll see a lot of retirements.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Warner, Smith, and Finch go, and I'm pretty sure that Virat will probably go.
Yep.
And good. I hope they do, because they really need to allow the next generation to start playing. These guys are in their late, they're 35 plus. I mean, really. I mean, you should, if they're going to play Test cricket, I'll accept that, but not all formats.
No.
Okay, so is Bubba next best thing in Asia? Of course he is. Gill is probably there too, and Shaheen, of course. Yeah, I agree with all of those. Marsh Cup is coming in September. Can't wait to watch Campbell Kellaway first match. Sam, I know very little about Campbell Kellaway. I can't get too excited about him. I don't know him from Barra Soak, to be honest. What do you know about Campbell Kellaway?
The issue with Marsh Cup in September would be that a lot of internationals will not be available. With the series against Zimbabwe and all, and that's what my issue with our domestic cricket is. We get into domestic cricket where our internationals are not available. It does not attract crowd. It does not attract audience to that, and no one follows it. No one. You see Shield games about 15, 20 years ago. A lot of people used to go to Shield games and watch the games, and there's crowd, and one-day games there used to be crowd. But now no one even knows when the competitions are on. No one even goes to those grounds and play. They're playing day-night games on smaller grounds just to get the scores, which are attractive, like North Sydney Oval. They shouldn't be playing.
What's the point? Sri Lanka won the toss, by the way, and they're elected to bat.
Not surprised.
So that once again puts Sri Lanka in a good position, you would think.
Yep, absolutely.
No mention of yet.
No team news?
No, not yet. Abhishek, Sri Lanka won the test. I just said that. Your take on Gill and Rattaraj are not as next pile. I can't remember the word for India. Could be. Baramarani's joined us. BC's India team is literally facing first world problems as a cricket team. Sport for riches, for choice. You're right, Baram. Are you going to join us one day, Baram? Ahmed Raz has joined us. Pakistan's made 2 changes. As you said, we said Shireen injured and Ali in and replaces him. And Asher Ali has been rested for Fawad Alam. I'm not happy with that.
I'm not happy with that. I am definitely not happy. Azhar Ali should have not been dropped for Fawad.
And Fawad Alam didn't play well at all.
He is not your long-term solution. It is a poor selection based on emotions. It is a poor selection because Azhar Ali is played 80-odd test matches. He's proven performer. And Fawad Alam, unfortunately, it's just an emotional decision. I'm not convinced.
So on the basis of what we saw him do against Australia, how has he been selected now? What is it? Unless he's played well somewhere, but he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. That's a disappointing selection.
Very confusing. I'm really. Why are they? I mean, Asghar Ali is a fabulous batter, and he got big ones against Australia not long ago. I don't know. He's not the same form as Shafiq and the like, but that's bizarre. In fact, why would you drop any Pakistan batsman at all?
Why would you drop it? Why would you try and bring Fawad Alam out of everyone who's got no form? He's scored nothing, and his technique is poor against any.
So who's going to bat 3? Baba's going to bat 3, is he?
Well, that would be interesting if Fawad bats at 3 or Baba bats at 3. I think Baba likes at number 4. I think they'll push Fawad to go at 3.
You're kidding me.
There's
no way I would bat him at number 3. He's awkward. He's only going to be a quick wicket for Sri Lanka. Oh,
exactly.
God.
That's a silly change. I'm not in support of that. But
we've got that information from someone on we've got that information from Ahmed Raza, but I haven't actually seen that confirmed. Not that I'm doubting you, but I'm going to see that confirmed somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm still not seeing that confirmed anywhere yet. Okay. All right. Do you think Ben Stokes has taken a wise? Well, probably for health reasons he's done it, but I think that I think that's not a great decision. Yeah, it's been confirmed. Fawad Alam is in. Oh my God. Is he sleeping with the president of the cricket board or something? How the hell is he getting in there?
Sure. It's a press media thing. It's in political side of things, a big influence in subcontinent cricket, and he's from the city of Karachi, and there was a lot of media actually saying that there was no Fawad Alam in the team, especially from Karachi media. I read quite a lot, and they were bashing Azhar Ali because he failed in one test. That is very disappointing.
Ridiculous. What's ridiculous? But I always followed Marsh Cup because of Cameron Green. Okay, Sam, wonderful, but I know many people do actually. Ahmed Raza, why is our team management still persisting with Salman Ali Aga? He was, okay. Yeah. Love the awesome work you do, Norman. Thank you, Pers.
Well done, Norman.
Wasn't it amazing? 1.31 million that's gone to now.
That's fantastic, Norman. That's an excellent achievement. How much money did you make out of that one?
Well, I mean, it was I didn't do much work to do it, did I? I wasn't talking at all. I didn't even put anything on it. I just put it together the answer to the question. It was bloody good.
Yes, that's right.
I'll tell you privately, Rose. It's not as much as you might. It's not. If it was million views, $1 million, I'd be laughing now, but it wasn't. If it was $1 million, million views, $1 million, I'd be surrounded by 6 girls now, all feeding me grapes. And I'm afraid.
Bet you, and champagne's flowing around, and you wouldn't be sitting in your home. You'd be in that
I'd be
hotel
in a
room.
jacuzzi, there'd be bubbles going. I dream on, don't I? I dream on.
Yeah,
not a bad dream, though.
No. There's nothing wrong with that.
Why is Mitchell Marsh not playing test matches? Well, that's a pretty good question. He's now behind Cameron Green, obviously.
Yeah, he's not first choice all rounder.
Both, what's the name? Jantu Shimona and Rapaksha meant to be on today. They were meant to join me because they're meant to be getting their regular views up because they're going to be with the World Cup. As I'll get you involved if you want. I'll get Rev Sports to get you involved with the Indian channel to cover stuff, especially at the Gabba. If you want.
Yeah, definitely. Love
it. We're not going to Queensland. We're going to Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, and obviously Sydney. But we're not going to we're not going to Brisbane because I don't think India are playing there. Are Pakistan playing up there?
No, I don't think so.
What is actually happening in Brisbane is my question.
Yeah, I think there's because of the lot of development happening around for Olympics and all that stuff. Right. They're not getting high workloads in Gabba, and there's as you can imagine, there's a lot of infrastructure development happening around Gabba as well with parking and bus system and everything. I think they're still keeping it low key for the World Cup as well. So they've only got a handful of games and not big busy games.
Don't take this wrongly, but I just find that Gabba's not the place for Olympic Games opening ceremonies. I'm sorry.
No,
it's simply it's not big enough.
It's not. They could have gone.
It's very badly situated. Oh God!
And it's got no parking around it. It's got the area, as you said, 100% right. There's nothing that is accessible for people. You've got to build a lot of infrastructure to make it uplift, and they would have been better off going towards Gold Coast and you know how Sydney did it. They developed a whole new area, took the stadium out of the busy parts. Now I know it's part of the busy area, but they took Olympic Stadium out of where the day-to-day routine people, and you know there was infrastructure, train, buses, bus lanes, everything was specifically built, and that helped Sydney not getting choked. But I see Brisbane at this point in time will get choked once the Olympics is on. It's right in the middle of city. Access point is very hard, and as you said, parking, and you know, it's going to be very, very, very hard to get it up for Olympic. And stadium is not big enough. It's only 35,000 people.
Look, I'm going to be a bit of a Sydney snob here. I'm very disappointed that Australia actually bid for Queensland. We were the only ones that bid for the damn Olympics of that year. After having had great Sydney and Melbourne Olympics, we're going to be rather disappointed with the Queensland one. I'm sorry.
Very disappointed. Yeah. Even Gold Coast Commonwealth game was good. If you followed that Commonwealth game, Gold Coast was well hosted. So I would have even gone Gold Coast rather than staying at Brisbane. Norman, I'm going to drop off for a couple of minutes, and I'll come and join you again. I'll just
no problems.
Pick up more stuff. Yeah.
No worries. Thanks, Moses. All right, so I'm just asking, what about Shan Masood? Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll ask it. I'll ask it later when Moses comes back. Fawad Alam should be hung up by his boots. Ali makes his boots in. Well, the same one. The season not started. Kumar Shanu, why Waka Shab Saklain was in not one test in Australia? Don't know. World Cup T20 is coming. Your favourite team this World Cup Monday. Well, you can have to say Australia, India, Pakistan, and England are the four that I would see as being there for that. All right, let's just say they're going to, as we saw, there's been a few minor changes to the. Norman Ali's come in for Shaheen Afridi. Of course, that was because of injury. And Fawad Alam, I don't know what they're doing with it. I really don't know. They've made a mistake. Asar Ali has been dropped, and I'm very, very sad about that, if I'm being honest with you. Very sad. I don't believe that's, the right decision at all. But anyway, so let's go here. Live preview. No, that's not the one. The live previews. There we go. We already got 304. There we go. Live the previous second test. Okay. All right. So, what is the story behind the Sri Lankan team jersey behind you? It's Arjuna Ranatonga's top. We've got several signatures on, including Arjuna. It's the 96 World Cup top. That's what it is, Monday. I've got over there, you've got Bradman. I've got Tendulkar and Steve Waugh over there, Mark Taylor over there, and I've got Murali and Shane Warne behind me. I've got a rugby league one here and a bat with quite a few amazing players signed on that. You might not be able to see it. You've got Arthur Morris up the top there. Then you've got Glenn McGrath. And then you've got on the far here Jeff Thompson. 3. One's dead. 2 are alive. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We've got another 15 minutes before the game starts. It's been a pretty hectic little start for Sri Lanka. Certainly right up there with a chance. I've had that one I told you about. I've had 1.31 million. Quite incredible. So I'm very proud of that. So, okay, let's have a look at any. Obviously, the Sri Lankan team is. We'll go through the teams in a second, shall I? I'm just posting them. The Sri Lanka have made 2 changes, and they're blooding that young Dunith Wellagay. He is touted to be a champion, so we'll wait and see what the story is with him. So let's just go through the side, shall we? That's awesome, yeah. Warner, Marsh, Sam Hills, let's go back to Australia for some reason. Warner, Marsh, let's join here. We've got Moses and Shakes back. All right.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, so Sri Lanka have blooded that young Dunith Wellagay. He must be well liked. He's obviously a teenager. He's yet to get to his true adulthood, but he's in the side. So Karunaratne, Oshita Fernando keeps his place. So the Sanka didn't come in. Coastal Mendes, Angela Mathews, Chandimal, Dhananjaya, Naroshan Dickwella, Ramesh, Asita Fernando, Prabhat Jayasuriya, and Dunith Wellagay has come in for Thekshana. So Sri Lanka haven't panicked about this side.
No, that's good. That's good. I like the young blood in because they see an opportunity for him to come in and try and make a bit of mark, which is good. And they have not panicked, which is good. They have not dropped Dickwella, which I was worried about. And they've kept their predominantly their bowling attack, which is a good thing. So I like the way Sri Lanka is approaching it with calmness. They know that they're doing it well. They know that they're not far off from getting it right and start getting the wins in, which is a good thing. I think the coaching staff changes has helped. If it was a political as it was in Pakistan team, you would see a change.
I'm going to say I'm very nasty now. I truly think Ponting is just making a bit of publicity here for Tim David in lieu of the BBL. Adding a bit of emphasis to watch that because why would we be talking about him playing for the World Cup? It's just, I don't know.
It's just too much media at the moment, and it's not fair on Tim David as well.
No.
What if he comes into Aussie time and fails in first couple of games? Everyone's just going to knock him down and say, "Oh, he's not good enough for international cricket." You got to let it happen when the time is right. You just can't put too much pressure, especially when everyone like Ponting and whatnot comes out of the blue in a press conference yesterday. You got put up a question about Tim David and he's going, oh, he's the next best thing and he's got to win Australia World Cup. Why would you do that? Why would you say things like that for a guy who's still developing? He's still, learning the art. He's young. Let him play. Just let it happen naturally. No. That's
how can he be the next big World Cup winner and he hasn't even played a game yet?
No, that's what my thing is. You putting too much pressure on the young kid, and he's not even young, but you're putting pressure on this guy, and all of a sudden, if he fails in his first outing, people are going to knock him down because they are going to label him as a best domestic cricketer, not international level, which is not fair on him. Let the transition happen naturally.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, and they're judging his form in the PSL, CSL, and obviously the IPL. And look, I just think that, and I'm actually, when I think about it, respecting George Bailey's approach to this, not being bullied into selecting him on the basis of what he may or may not be.
It is ridiculous. I agree. He's not letting that happen. The media and the pressures of everyone talking about it, not letting that fluster
Yeah.
him to
So
force Tim David in.
who's
I
going to
don't
bat
see
three for
Tim David
Pakistan?
in force. Well, I think Fawad's going to bat three because Babar's not going to let his number four spot down. And why should he? Why should he compromise on the spot that he likes? He should get a choice of where he wants to bat, and that's fair. If he wants to bat at four, he should get the choice to bat at four. And he's winning Test matches being at four for Pakistan. So why wouldn't he? Why would you change his batting number to three to accommodate Fawad Alam, which is very, very poor decision in my eyes.
So where does Fawad normally bat when he's in a team?
He has opened the batting in Sri Lanka many years ago when Yunus Khan was captain and he got 100, and then he was dropped, and then he batted at 6, and then he batted at 3 for his domestic team as well. So he's batted different positions. For me, if you want to draft him in current batting lineup, you give him number 3. If he's good enough, um, he'll score a few runs. But my question is he your future? Has he
No.
done anything to draft his spot back? He was poor in 3 test matches in Australia. He was absolutely walking wicket in 6 innings. It's not that he has been doing well. He's done well in one series against New Zealand. I give him that. But is he your future? If he's not, then why would you waste your time and efforts in having him back in place of Azhar Ali? Azhar Ali's done for long term. He's played over 80 test matches. He's done it, captain Pakistan. He's still in good form. He scored runs against Australia last series. Why would you drop him?
There's something I actually think this could be a major mistake because if their batting lineup is stabilised by a bunny batsman coming in, then
Exactly.
they're going to regret this. They're going to regret this big time.
You got a debutant you got a player who's only 1 test old, and then you got Fawad Alam who's walking wicket, and then you're putting pressure. You already 1 batsman short. You're batting Rizwan at 5. If you have a failure from Babar and the top order, you're not going to recover. You don't have a reliable middle order who's going to bat through and get you out of a position where you're in trouble. So it is very compromised batting lineup.
Exactly. Okay, so Uncle Knight says we Indians want Sri Lanka to win this second test. Okay.
Of course you do.
Although Bubba was so generous to you guys, I think you should be respected for that. Okay. Pakistan will lose by 10 wickets in the World Cup, and Bubba's will get a duck. Okay. All right. Okay. Wouldn't go with India in the T20 World Cup. New Zealand and Australia are in the high. Not New Zealand, I don't think at all. Kumar Shanu, is it a great home track bullies team between 2010 when won the decision? Is Sri Lanka? No, they haven't been winning all their matches at home. Indian bowlers will be a threat for everyone. That's true. India didn't have answers in the big matches. We'll wait and see. Okay, there's a fair bit of commentary between people here. Fantasy experts, another 100 loading to King Bubba. There we are, fantasy expert. Well, remember your comment. I want to say this. A lot of negative press against Azhar Ali became because of that he is dropped. But yes, he is better than Fawad Alam. Absolutely. He's proven to be. I found Fawad Alam excruciatingly irritating to watch bat. It was like it was any minute now he's going to get out. How can he be now? How can he be number 3 for India for Pakistan? Exactly. Oh my God!
No, really especially with that technique. I mean, with the pace of Stark and Cummins and whatnot at home grounds, batting tracks, he could not cope. And you just put him in Australia or South Africa against a little bit of pace where the ball's coming through, and with that technique, he's fanned out. He's only good when ball is not doing anything, and yet he didn't do anything in 6 innings against Australia, where everyone got runs. Everyone, even Travis Head got 100. So, you can't expect a guy who's not your future to drop for someone who's really technically a good batsman. He scored Azhar Ali has scored 300 100. He scored 100 against Australia just in recent tour. It just doesn't. It's just a pressured decision by press. It is emotional decision, not a tactical decision.
Yeah, and Azhar Ali, I've got a lot of time for him. In fact, Bubba Zam's been a
Yeah.
good captain, yes, but I think Azhar Ali was a good captain. I think he's a fantastic
Very
player.
good.
You and I know him. You know him very well, and I remember the time we had lunch with him, or dinner,
Yeah.
sorry, at that restaurant
We had dinner
in
at
Harris Park.
Thomas. Yeah.
And he was talking to me about
He's fantastic.
taking a tour of Australian, the SCG11 concept to Pakistan. Remember, we talked about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
Did
he's very,
you-
very level-headed person, and he knows his
brilliant,
game.
man.
He's technically very correct, and it's disappointing to see him getting dropped.
So, do you have contact with him now?
Yeah. I've still got contact with him.
Yeah, I'll have to talk about that. I think at a touring group to go to Pakistan. That's what I need to do one day.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Well, I mean, I would have loved to have been there earlier this year, but England played Pakistan, September or August?
Pakistan, England, I think it's November, December.
November, December?
Yeah. So they'll finish the tour, and then the England guys are available for Big Bash.
Right. So you're talking about November, December this year?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to go.
That'd be fantastic. But it'll be good test cricket because Multan, they're talking about a test in Multan, a test in Lahore, and test in Karachi.
Wow. Okay, Shan Masood in place of Salman Ali Agha. What's the story with that?
Look, is that a decision? Is that the team change?
No. Someone's asking your opinion.
Shan Masood has scored over 1,000 runs in England. He is the guy. Again, I can't make any sense out of the Pakistan selection team. If you wanted to drop Azhar Ali, why wouldn't you put Shan Masood to bat at number 3? He's a proper batsman. He's a left-hander. Okay, you counter the left-arm spinner with the left-hand batsman, and that it would have been a lot better choice. He's sitting in a dugout. The guy who scored a million runs in England, and he's second on the list of English season, and yet you put a guy who scored nothing against Australia. I think his highest was 10 or something against Australia at home, and you gave him another test match. Why?
Who's the chief selector of Pakistan?
Mohammad Wasim, the ex-Test cricketer. But I think on tour, it is more management who makes the coach and the manager and whatnot. And I think it is cricketing wise, it is a poor call. You would keep Azhar Ali. For me, you would have kept Azhar Ali and you would have played Shan Masood instead of Salman Ali Agha.
They love giving commemorative caps. They've given a commemorative cap to Angelo Mathews on his 100th test. Good on him. Yeah, I think it is a pretty big deal, and
it's a significant one.
I do like Angelo Mathews. He's a nice bloke, actually.
He is, and he's done well for Sri Lanka, both in white ball cricket and red ball cricket, especially when the big players left the scene. Herath retired, Sangakkara, Jayawardene, they all retired, and it was just left to Mathews to keep the team together, and I think he'd done a very good job.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. All right, so what else we got here? Sam Mosen, your thoughts? Who is the better place? Who is unbetter, or who is in the better place for the T20 World Cup? Who's your team selections?
Team selections or the finalists?
It doesn't say World Cup finalists. It says who's in the best positional place coming into the T20 World Cup.
Oh, India, no doubt. India, Australia's in good stead as well. I think New Zealand are always surprising. They're always. You look at T20 One Day World Cup, they're always there and thereabouts. They sneak into the semis like nobody noticed. So I still think that these three are still my 3 picks. But fourth one, it could be a surprise. It could be Pakistan, or it could be South Africa. South Africa could be a surprise package. But that fourth spot for me is quite open. But I think these three are very well placed at the moment.
How could you ever say South Africa was a surprise package? They choke in every single bloody World Cup.
They might choke in the semi-final, Norman. You never know. They get to the semi-final and they can't go past it.
I don't have any of that, but they've got such a huge mental. They got probably the world's biggest hurdle is to get over this World Cup thing, whether it's the men or women. They might as well
And
not try.
I think there's a contributing factor, as you saw, Marizan Cap just left the tour in the middle and had to go back home. There's a lot of things happening in South Africa which through media we don't get, and that puts a lot of pressure on those players who are playing for their country. I felt for Marizan leaving the tour because they feel there is too much pressure. They had to go back to the families and whatnot. And I see similar mental blocks against their men's player. You know, a lot of players have taken the call back deals and got to England and whatnot, and they just cannot compete at that highest level they should be. And talent-wise, if you look at one-on-one talent-wise, they're they're fantastic. But
Yeah,
it's
look,
just they can't do it as a team.
yeah, look, I don't know. So much to be said about that. Now,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, we already talked about the situation with Azraeli. Is Stark dangerous bowler? Then Bumrah's a better bowler, I believe. County bowler is weak because of anyone hammered them. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. It can make impact. Okay, I'm trying to get these messages. Who can make an impact in Australia? What team can make an impact? I think Pakistan. That's my thoughts.
Yep.
And it's versus Shan Masood, which you talked about.
Yep.
Okay, check it in Norman who won the toss. Kenroy Firon, in fact, all the way from Jamaica. How are you? Sri Lanka won the toss and have elected to bat.
Bat first, yeah.
Kenroy Firon, what a great name! It's very much a typical sort of Jamaican kind of name. Stark. Sam is you backing Stark. He's not playing today. You reckon he'll make a big impact in the World Cup? I actually think he won't.
I think it will be Cummins. I think there'll be an all-rounder. I think there's a spinner. I fancy a spinner making a really good impact here in Australia, even though the pitches would be dry and bouncy. They're predicting a hot summer this time. So by September, October, the pitches will be drier. We've had a lot of rain here, especially here in Brisbane. We've had a lot of rain. But even though at training today the pitches are really hard at the moment. Even though, as I said, there's a lot of rain has happened, but pitches are really hard. And I think that by come October, we'll have dry pitches and spinners will.
So we've got Hassan Ali opened the bowling for Pakistan. He's bowled 2 deliveries to Fernando without any run so far.
Mm-hmm.
So they've started the match. I mean,
Yep.
the Sangakkara must be a bit upset. He gets COVID, misses out on the tests, and then literally doesn't get his position back. When Ashana Fernando
can't get back in.
Too spectacular.
Can't get back in. I know it's funny.
Sri Lanka do not drop Rosh and Dickwella. He's about to be your best ever dismissals-wise keeper ever that you played. Why would you drop your best keeper? He's your best keeper.
I was just saying to you, I was worried that they might drop him, which my concern was, but I'm happy that Sri Lanka haven't panicked and they didn't drop him. So, which is good.
Because they have got Carlson
unlike
and Dinesh Shannamal can keep as well. But no, you shouldn't go backwards.
Yeah, no, I don't see dropping Dickwella would have served anything. Let him play. Let him finish his career at this spot. I know we've just
let him get a bloody century.
Below his number.
Bat him. Give him an opening position for a few tests. Let him score his first century, which he deserves to get.
I think they've decided just that's not going to happen. So from the new management, they'll let this summer go, and then see what happens past this. Because what they've got a little bit of break. Sri Lanka have.
Hi, Norman. How are you?
We have Rapakshi Sharma. Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks.
And-
I'm in Canberra. Where are you?
Hello.
Hi.
You're in
Hi,
you're in
Mohsin.
Canberra. Canberra.
Yes.
What are you doing in Canberra?
I'm with Sumona. Would you like to see her?
Hello.
Hello.
Lady.
Guys, come both on
What are
screen
you
together.
ladies
I'll
doing
take a
in
photograph.
Canberra?
Come on both.
Here and yeah. We were preparing. She was preparing for the cricket, and I was preparing for my video.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Because I'm very excited in England, and I think they're gonna play the match. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, we are a little bit late.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm sure Norman.
With us, Canberra, Norman, and you also. One day.
Well, I mean, is that Sonny Bill Williams in the background?
Yeah, I'm
Surely not.
Complete.
She came for
Surely not.
lunch with us.
Yeah. We are actually at very nice restaurant, Tikka Zone, but we haven't got table yet.
It's very busy.
Where are you? Are you in city?
We are in
Canberra. So, Shimona and Rapakshi now, their best friends are Latrell Mitchell from South and Sonny Bill Williams from New Zealand
I saw the
fame.
pictures.
They hang around with those two guys too much now.
I saw the pictures.
Well, both of them are going to be involved with the World Cup, of course. Jantil Shimona, of course, and Rapakshi, guest commentators on this show, and also going to be on Rev Sports, as will Mosen.
Thank you.
So, Rapakshi, have you met Mosen before? Have you met Mosen before?
Me and Sumona?
No, you. Have you met Mosen before?
Yeah, I met him once when I was in your car, I guess so. Then we were going
Yeah,
for
we did that last show. She was in your car.
That's right, of course.
Yeah, of
It
course.
was only a short while ago. So, Rapakshi, who's going to win between Sri Lanka and Pakistan in the second test?
I personally think that. What do you think, Sumona? That she's more experienced than me. Let's just push on her.
Yes, start pushing.
Who is going to win between Sri Lanka and Pakistan in the test match?
I think Pakistan will.
Yes, Pakistan, both of you.
No one we always confident. Remember last time how much score he scored?
The thing is that Pakistan batting is a bit thin this time. I think we've just touched base before you ladies join, and they're showing on the screen at the moment. I'm watching on 10 Sports that Kuratne has been in last 3 years. He scored 1,800 runs with the average of 50. He's top of the ladder. The most runs by opening batter in Test match in last 3 years. Even Rohit Sharma is second, Latham's third, Roy Burns fourth, David Warner's 1,400 runs. This Kuratne has scored 1,800 runs with average of 50 plus. So I think Sri Lankan batting can actually change the scene here. They need to get big runs in first innings. They just got to bat long. This pitch looks a little different to last pitch. It's got a little bit of grass on it, whereas last pitch was very bad.
Actually.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of grass on this pitch. So hopefully, for the test match sake, Sri Lanka gets big runs on first innings. So then that would make very interesting.
What are you trying to say? She's saying something. Yes. Yeah.
So, Shimona, now that you are going to be an official commentator, or you're going to be doing broadcasts in Perth and Adelaide and Melbourne, what do you think about the World Cup? Are you excited?
Yeah, first of all, I'm very excited about it. I already submitted everything to the ICC. We'll see how it's work. And yeah, it will be great experience for me. I have playing experience before, but never had this experience. So I'm pretty much excited. And it will be good listen at the same time for me. It will help me for my in future after cricketing career. So that's I'm looking for, and I hope I can watch some game and good environment, everything. I'm gonna get the what's actually I'm looking for, and hopefully I have great time as well with Mr. Norman and also the Buria Mojumdar. So we'll see how it's go.
Norman's a fantastic man.
Yeah, he is, no
Oh,
doubt.
that's nice of you to say that. Very nice of you to say that. But I'm particularly impressed with. We'll have a good bunch of commentators between us. I think we'll have a lot of fun. So the main thing is it's going to be exciting. That's the main thing. So really looking forward. Okay, let's get back to this game now. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching at the moment exactly what's happening there. I'll just have to just quickly get my act together to watch it. But Sri Lanka. Well, okay. Does this change the way this match will go, Moses? Do you think the fact that Sri Lanka's batting first is going to? What effect will they have on the match?
Look, I think, in my point of view, I think Sri Lanka scores 300 plus. I think that will be a big influence on the game. The opening partnership, the ball, they've only showing the footage, the channel that I'm watching. The pitch doesn't look like seaming at all. The ball's not carrying through, but it's got a bit more grass. It will stay intact a little bit more. So that will allow Sri Lanka to use that first use of the pitch to score 300 plus very easily, I think. The ball hasn't seamed or swung at all. Naseem Shah's balled at 130s. He hasn't balled quick. And Hassan Ali hasn't swung the ball so far. So I think Sri Lanka has got a very good opportunity here. Scored 350 on first innings. Pakistan batting is a bit thin for my liking, and that would put Sri Lanka in a very good commanding position by day 2.
Well, that's a big call. I think that I can't wait to see Abdul Shafiq bat again. He was not out in the last inning, the fourth innings of the match. He batted fantastically.
Yep.
I thought it was very impressive. And Baba Azam, a delight to watch at any time. So what are you having, Simona, what are you having for lunch there?
Yeah, I didn't watch the first game. So, but still, I can, if I'm going to be analyzing something, if I'm talking about Pakistan team, they have pretty good handy batting lineup. Babar Azam doing so well from the last couple of years, and at the moment he may be top number 1 batsman in the world, and also there are other batsmen in the form. So yeah, it's like for Pakistan, I'm gonna say very strong batting lineup, and also their bowling lineup is quite good. If I'm talking about their some new pace bowler, they're doing so well. If I'm talking about back to 20 years back, 30 years back, Pakistan pace bowling. Yes, they are not just same as strong as before, but still they are like they try to make their pace unit like this, something like this. So I am pretty much hopeful about their pace bowling lineup. So I guess after few years they're gonna be again one of the world's strongest bowling side, and really impressive about the Pakistan side at the moment. If I'm talking about back to 3 years, so they're struggling so hard, and now at the moment they are a strong team. They can contest, they can beat any team in the world. And if I'm talking about the Sri Lanka team, they recently beat, everyone know, in Australia, one of the strongest side in their home soil. So yeah, it will be pretty much like 50-50 chance. But end of the day, who gonna be playing well their game? So they have more percentages to win their side. But if I'm talking about, I feel like Pakistan have more possibility to win this test match.
Okay. Just quickly get some comments. Ralph Jansen says, morning to all. Sam is okay. There we go to Sam again. We're talking about the World Cup. Okay. Can't underestimate Stark in the World Cup. We won't, Sam. Don't worry. Okay. We've got a Sri Lankan here. It was Jayawardene Ariadam. Hey, guys. Great win by Pakistan. First test match. I really was not expecting that in Galle fourth innings. That's an amazing chase. It was, and I don't know why you would change that batting lineup. Why would you change?
That
batting lineup?
100%.
I'm completely shocked. I tell you what, if Alam fails, get rid of him.
Yeah, that's end. That's the end.
I think I found a new person to hate other than Travis Head is
Travis Head.
Fawad Alam.
No,
Okay.
we probably both on the same boat. I don't see it's a step backwards to bring Fawad Alam into the team. The guy is proved he's done it for short term. He's not your long term solution.
So Shimona, where's Rapakshi? Get her to be go together with ask Rapakshi to come with you together. Where is she? She's disappeared. Rapakshi, you look very refreshed there. You look very, very well relaxed. Have you had a good weekend there?
Because I went to a bird spot, something that's actually have very nice view. That's why I feel like I'm very refreshed and full of energy.
So I mean, so how is Sonny Bill Williams? Are you dating him now? Or should we talk about that?
What is SBW, man? Now I remember. Sunny Bill Wilson.
I told you most of it. I'll tell you the story what happened with Rapakshi. How she
like he's very famous, and I got a photo with him. And then I don't even know his name. And I was saying to Norman, I really want to do video like for him, and I was trying to remember his name, but I couldn't. Now I know SBW.
Okay, you have it. You during the World Cup, I want you to double date you with Sonny Bill Williams and Rapakshi with not Rapakshi, sorry, Shimona with Latrell together.
Are you doing matchmaking as well there, Norman?
I don't need to. These girls make them themselves.
Do you know Sunny Bill? Yeah. Like I know little more about cricket or a lot of things about cricket my past, but rugby is not even near me. But that's so nice of Norman. He gave me chance. I got the chance to get the selfie with.
You've had big videos into the tens of thousands watching already. Rapakshi, you don't need any help.
He's a big star. He's a big star in Australia.
Yeah, he's very big. But that's lucky he came to our chair. Oh man, I was like, how lucky I am, and how lucky I met Norman.
So look at you. You've done interviews on the streets of Coogee.
And Sumona were fighting after that she was saying he came for me, and I was saying no, he came for me.
Well, we're gonna. When you go to Perth and Adelaide and Melbourne, you're going to do big reports for me.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to go. Maybe you can go to Fremantle.
How is the analyst going about the cricket about Sri Lanka and Pakistan? In short, I'm asking.
Sri Lanka none for. This is fourth over. Sri Lanka none for 2. Currently, they're just wearing the fast ballers out. The ball is not doing anything. It's not swung. It's not seamed. And obviously, with Shaheen out of the team, they are struggling to get a wicket from the new ball. So I think it's going to be challenging. For batting, I think it looks decent. The pitch looks decent. It's got, as I said, it's got a little bit more grass, so I think it will hold up nicely and good for batting.
Okay. So according to you, Pakistan have good bowler, right?
Yeah, but then Shaheen Afridi is unfit, so that's a big loss.
I just know that Shoaib Akhtar is the fastest bowler in the world, but he's retired.
True. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I did that. Now, I pronounced the name correctly, right?
Correctly, yes, absolutely.
Because I still have excuse. He's not from my country.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a rare thing here. Jayan has spent money to talk. So, Rapakshi, can you read out the message? Can you read the message?
Jahan Aryantram. I can't read name properly. Wait, Jahan Aryantram. Lots of chat recently about the damage of ODI cricket. Can't forget there is a huge difference between franchise T20 tournaments and T20. T20 lacks relevance. Good for entertainment. That's all. Good for entertainment.
I agree. I think T20, because of the money factor and entertainment factor, is taken over the one-day cricket. and everyone wants to play where their half the effort is gone. In 2020, is finished in 3 hours. With one day cricket is all day, a day-night match. Norman, by the time we finish recoveries and media and everything, players don't get out of their change rooms till midnight. So it's a long day for players in a one-day cricket. It is tiring. Whereas 2020, you're done in 3 hours and that's it. So and plus the monetary factor is there, because you play franchise cricket, you get rewarded really well. So it's no brainer that one day cricket is on a dying bed at the moment.
Yeah. Thanks, Simona. What's your thoughts?
Okay, Norman, we are in a restaurant now. We'll be back soon again.
Okay, you come back a bit later.
Yeah.
Enjoy your lunch.
Thank you. Bye. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
See you, ladies.
I like the way they come on, because it brings the usefulness. A lot of people are aged 18 to 21 on the show. They like to see them with their age.
Absolutely.
And it's,
Nice
I think it's lovely. And they're very good girls. And look, Shimon have played for Bangladesh at the age of 16, for God's sake. So he's brought up, this man is Jayan is brought up in England, a huge Australian supporter though. My father and older brothers, influenced my parents, are of Sri Lankan Tamil background, from Jaffna. I thought you was definitely Sri Lankan, that's for sure.
Nice.
But he lives now in Perth. Well, Jayan, you have to catch up with us, because we'll be in Perth at some stage during the World Cup.
Yeah.
So make a point of doing that, all right? Keep in contact.
Yep.
So yeah, Moses and I haven't spoken to him, but I've Buria and I talked about it. We'll get you involved to be a World Cup representative for the if you want to be, of course.
Yeah, I'd love to be, mate. Get me organised.
So we're going to get your media accreditation, all that sort of thing sorted out as well.
Yeah.
So
Get me.
we need to sort that out pretty quickly. So what games have been played at the Gabba? Has the Gabba been left out of the World Cup or what?
No. There's about 5 or 6 games. There's game in Metricon. There's game at Gold Coast as well. So there's 5 or 6 games around here. So which is good.
So we'll get you. Yeah, we'll definitely have a bit of a chat with you, Jan. We'll see you in Optus Stadium. So hang on, they're playing at Metricon Stadium. What on earth for?
Yeah, look, they'd want to get cricket out, like in Geelong, they want to get cricket in Etihad Stadium. So they're just trying to expand that into Gold Coast. So there's one game there as well, and I think there's 3 or 4 2020 games there as well at Metricon. The big bash.
So do you do some homework, if you don't mind, on the World Cup matches in Brisbane? Because obviously
I'll
India
let
are not
you know.
there.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
There. But what is Pakistan going to be there?
No. Pakistan's not playing at Gabba.
That's a bit.
But I'll send you the schedule. But get my accreditation and whatnot sorted, and I'll definitely love to be on the reporting show.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as we've spoken, after almost 5 overs, Sri Lanka are none for 8. They've been plodding along there. There's no fours. There's been a succession of singles, 2s and 3s. So not a lot happening at this point.
And that's the first. As we spoke, there was the first boundary hit just then. So Shada's just hit through a cover drive, beautifully driven through covers. So first boundary scored at the last delivery of 5th over. So Hassan Ali is still proving to be ineffective with new ball. And that's what my question was, why selection is not on merit. Harris Rauf should have played. Hassan should have dropped. So yeah, look, we can harp about it all day, but that's it's poor cricketing decisions.
Especially when you've just won a match as well.
Exactly.
Okay, there's a lot of this. Tanvir's saying we'll probably get a go at some stage for Australia. I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's far, but let things happen naturally, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, just back to this for a moment. There's a lot of grass on the pitch, you were saying?
Yeah, there's tinge of grass. It's a live grass. It's green, which is very unusual for Sri Lanka pitch. The square looks quite green as well. Just as I'm looking down towards the batters now, where Naseem Shah is operating, the square on both sides looks quite green. So obviously they've had watered the square quite a lot, so it won't be as hard to help reverse swing. The outfield is patchy, which we expected. But they've actually kept the square quite lively, which is obviously to stop Pakistani bowlers taking advantage of reverse swing, because that they are very good in terms of exploring the reverse swing if the square is drier. But if the square is wet, the ball's not going to go as dry and reverse as it does. So spin is still going to be a factor, but I think it's not going to be a big factor earlier in the match. It will be later in the match, which, if you remember last test match, the spin was big factor in first 3 days, and then it slowed out. The pitch went slower and slower and lower, and the spin out of the pitch was very slow. So that's why batting became easier. But I think it's going to be the other way around this time. It's going to be.
Why would Sri Lanka do that? They've got Prabhath Jayasuriya, who's taken 6-6-5-4.
Exactly.
They want to.
Yeah, I agree. They could have kept the dry pitch, but yeah, this time they've gone a little bit in different nature of pitch.
Yeah.
So one end is carrying through, the other end's not. So the end that Naseem Shah is bowling towards the castle, it's the end that the ball carrying through really well through to Rizwan. So it's interesting.
But has there been any? We don't normally get a confirmation on batting order, but are they stating that Fawad will bat in 3?
No, there's nothing. There's nothing on the news front. I haven't checked on the Pakistan media. There's nothing, but we'll probably during the day they might update something. But I'll probably see when the when the batting lineup is up for Pakistan. That's when they'll see. But my gut feeling is they'll put Fawad to bat 3.
Yeah, quite incredible. Quite incredible.
Yeah, the ground is actually well presented with the Mathews 100 Test match. They've got good coverage around the ground with Mathews pitches and 100 Test match, which is a big achievement for a long-term serving Sri Lankan, and it's good to see that the ground is actually covered in his name, and
good
just
on
recognizing a long-serving person.
Well, he deserves it. He has. He's for his ability. He's played above his ability, I would argue.
I agree. Yeah.
Not that he's a poor player, but he's played well above his ability. He was an all-rounder at early stages. Didn't bowl that much towards the end, but certainly, worthy of all the accolades. And he certainly has been a tough character.
No, deserves it all. Norman, it's coming up to 3. I'm probably going to excuse myself and catch up with you during the test match at different stages.
All right, for sure. Thanks, Moses. We'll talk more.
Mate.
I'll send you that for the media accreditation.
Yeah, talk to me. Yeah, talk to me. Give me a call whenever you can, and we'll get my accreditation sorted. Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot, Moses. Thank you.
Thanks, audience. Chief. Bye.
Ciao. Well, I mean, Moses there, very knowledgeable, very much aware on the pulse of what's happening in Pakistan cricket, as well as world cricket for that matter, and he's very in tune with the Australian makeup. He's quite a sensational reporter, and you'll get a lot of interesting information throughout the series, especially the World Cup, from him. So I'm pretty happy with the way that he reports, and probably one of the most well-balanced and educated discussers of cricket, discussions on cricket I've ever seen. So big accolades for him, and he deserves everything he gets. He's a tremendous bloke, and he's been involved with IPLs from the very start. The BBL teams, national teams, whether it's Australia, has a subcontinent knowledge as well as an Australian knowledge. Perfect fit for any team selection. I must say, I'd have him involved in any country. Very, diplomatic about the way he does things, but also calls a spade a spade. So there you go. There's some really, really good coverage there. All right, so Bailey sees this situation. That's why they didn't back young Rods. Look, Bailey's a bit of a wait and see with him. Backing young players. I think after the World Cups, both the T20 World Cup and the ODI next year World Cups, you'll probably find that we'll have some changes to the Australians makeup for sure. All right, guys. I think I might even begin to consider myself a good hour. I'll wait until the girls come back on. Okay, so what does Rajiv Mishra? Do you think 10 wickets will fall today? By the way, have you met Bubba? I certainly haven't met Bubba Azam, absolutely, and great guy that he is. Met him actually a few times, but in particular, met him in Sydney a few times. I've also met him in England at the Keeley's Bat Factory, where he got his bat. He was with Azhar Ali that day, and they were both having a chat, getting their bats, and had a good chat with him then too. 10 wickets fall today. I think there's a good chance. The pitch does look flat, so you're suggesting that that there won't be 10 wickets falling? Well, I think Pakistan are good enough to get the 10 wickets, put it that way. So I think that'll happen. Okay. Going to be very interesting indeed. Yeah, how this match will end up transpiring. Let's have a look at the stories. Pity we can't get much coverage, and that's unfortunately. The scorecard, the live, we've got the none for 18 with Kurunatha on 8 and Fernando also on 8. Both batters on 8 with Hassan Ali and Nassim Shah not really penetrating at all at this point. Yes. All right, give me a sec, guys. Just get back. I think I'm just going to go to the little boys' room. I'll be back. Hang on a sec. I'll turn the lights on so it's pretty dark in here. There's the setting of this. I'm behind the camera, guys, like the producer. With the lights on here, it's too dark, isn't it? There we are. That's a better light configuration. All right, there we are. Cam Green can bat like Steve Waugh in the future. Well, he's a bit more capable than even Steve Waugh was actually in terms of batting. I'm being honest. Interesting to see what happens. So, all right, guys, we might look at ending the show very shortly. We've got a situation here where Sri Lanka are none for 20 with both batters on 8. Sundries obviously are the balance. So we've had a good show. Certainly have had a good show, and we should. Good to record some moments. Okay, so it's been a really good to see Sri Lanka. I love watching Sri Lanka and Pakistan play. Great series indeed. So Sebastian is talking with Sam Isle about the ODIs. Ben McDermott, Travis, I doubt, Marsh, Labuschagne, Inglis, We can't agree with that. Tim Day won't get in there yet. Green, no Hardy. What are you talking about? Hardy hasn't even played any. Jai Richardson, perhaps not 10%, Bartlett and Mitchell Perry. Some players that are not even going to go close to making it there. So who do you think will come out on top after the match? I'm still backing Pakistan. Have a good one. Go the Pies. As in what? The Magpies? Okay. Who do you think? Okay, I mentioned already from Abdul Shafiq. There we go. Just going to check a few things here. Alex Carey's test spot is in danger, I would say so. Not somebody else. If he struggles against, I hope they do drop him. It's going to be interesting whether Australia is a bit low to drop keepers. They did it to Phil Neville, which was a huge mistake in my opinion. He was a much better keeper than most in that situation. All right, guys. Ashwin Kartik, how are you? How was MCG into a football pitch? It's just the same grass. They just cut it longer, as far as I'm aware. And they got a drop-in pitch in the MCG. The SCG is its natural bull-eye turf. Rajiv Mishra. So will you cover Asia Cup? Yes, I will. This time I believe it'll be a more competitive one. Yes, I agree. I certainly will. Let's have a look here. How this match is going. Sri Lanka off to a competent start. 6.5 overs. They're none for 20. I'm going to see what's on team. It's probably not. There's probably no coverage at all, which is terrible, to be honest. Ashwin Kartik, how are you? How do exams go? Didn't have an exam. Is ODIs needed? My thoughts. Well, I would say that they're not needed. I don't think they need any more, to be honest. It's my thoughts. Let's see what we got here. Live NRL Bulldogs, live Sunday ticket. They're playing England versus. Oh, very disappointed. Very disappointed indeed, actually. All right. Well, the fact that Sri Lanka are none for 20 into their 8th over, with Naseem Shah and Hassan Ali not penetrating at all. In fact, Hassan Ali's gone for 17, score none for 20. Kumar at 9, Fernando 8, and Sundari's add up a total of 20. All right, guys. We might end the show there. All the best, guys. Thanks for joining today. We'll try and come back after the match. We've also got tonight, we've got India versus West Indies, and there's a few other things happening. Getting closer and closer to the Commonwealth Games, which will be women's T20 cricket in the World Cup. Sorry, not World Cup, in the Commonwealth Games. A rarity to have an Olympics/Commonwealth Games showing of cricket, and it's women who are going to be the first cab off the rank. You think Stark will be finished with the water, retired from T20? I think so too, Bus. I think you'll see Finn Smith for Warner definitely, and probably Stark will all be out of T20 cricket, retiring after that. I hope they do. Which team has the best chance to win the T20 World Cup? We'll talk more about it as we get close. We've had commentary from Mosen Sheikh, Bori Majunda, Debasha Sen. You've got the likes of Rapakshi Sharma, and of course, Jana Shushmore and myself. I think Australia, India, Pakistan, and England. The same New Zealand, but I think those 4 will be the ones that will be the deciding ones. South Africa, no dark horse about them at all. All right, guys, we're going to talk to each other tomorrow or later today. See you guys. All the best. So don't forget to view, like, and share the post, subscribe, and hit the notification button for these great chances to watch all the cricket you can get. All the best. Talk to you soon.